This video is going to cover drawing the hand with different techniques. This is a part two. There's a part one. So this is part two. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up the reference image. All right. So from the handout that you have, we're going to start off just demonstrating the basics and the purpose of this technique. We're going to start off on the very left-hand side. You have three separate drawings. One starts off with a circle. And with a circle, take your time to slow down, and you can draw your circle. And then we're going to draw the lines. So, before we draw the lines, let me draw a maybe 35-degree angled line going right through the middle of the circle. It's almost like a clock. The hands of the clock moving out. And just copy what you see. Then you have another circle overlapping that larger circle, but it's smaller. And this represents the wrist, the angle of the wrist connected to the lower arm. Okay, next we're going to draw the fingers. And you have 4 fingers on top, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that represents the pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, forefinger. And then here we're going to draw the thumb. I'm going to draw two lines here. 1, 2, slightly curved. That represents the thumb. So you can start off with circle. The previous demonstration we did trapezoids, but here there's a circle, and then you connect the lines. These are the knuckles here where they bend slightly. And then the second one, we're going to follow this basic shape and form. So it's going to mimic the pose of that hand. And here we're going to start off with, I'll draw a very light circle here. Okay, that's where the hand body is. On top of that, I'm going to draw a little bit darker. I'm going to draw a triangle, rectangle-like shape here. Curve the top a little bit. And on the bottom here, I want to draw that circle. And from this rectangular shape, I'm going to connect it to the main body of the hand. So that's kind of like the size of the hand and also the angle of the hand. See that slight tilt? This is 0 degrees. That's slightly tilted. Okay, and then we can draw the bottom of the hand, tilting the opposite direction slightly, and on the top here, before I do the fingers, I want to show you something. I want to draw a cylinder. You know, some of the exercises from drawing 1, you guys drew cylinders. So we're going to stack these cylinders, these cups, on top of each other to represent the fingers. So here we have the first pinky, and we're going to do I'll draw these tiny little elongated, stretched out cups here. And they go from wider at the base, closer to the hand, and it gets narrower. There. That's just the rhythm of this. And then we're going to raise the next one up. These cylinders. One side is a little bit wider. And you can angle these little cylinders, these little cups, to demonstrate perspective, the different angles of the fingers moving away in different directions. And what a great way to just get the positioning, the basic scale of the fingers in relationship to the hand on the paper. Then we'll finish off with the largest one here, the forefinger, moving up. And then from this side, this corner, I'm going to create another cylinder, wider at the base. Look at that. And then it's angling in this direction. And then I'm going to create another cup-like shape, cylinder-like shape. Keep it consistent. And I'll slightly curve it to give it more of a finger-like movement to the piece. There you go. So you can use this technique to build up your hand. And then once you have practiced this, then you'll be able to see, hopefully, through practice, and you have the basics right. Now we can just follow along the contour. What I'm going to do is I kind of like the cylinders just to start off with. So I'm going to start off with a wide, just a gestural, light, sketchy quality with the arm. And the more you practice, it'll just be part of how you see objects, shapes, and forms. So I have the armature, the structure, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to slowly make a darker line, and I'm going to just follow along the contour. And what's so nice about that handout is that it just breaks it down into very simple shapes and forms, but it allows you to create understandable hands, recognizable. And notice the back of the fingers, the back of your hand. It's bonier, it's more closer to the surface, the skeleton, less fat, less muscle. So it tends to be a little more rigid look, a little bit straighter, more angular lines. So I'm working on the back of the finger. And on the opposite side, it's more curved because you have more muscle and the pad to grasp things, the muscles to pull and hold your grip. And so just recognize that rhythm. Back is rounded, the palm side of the hand fleshier. That helps with not creating like sausage-like fingers. Sometimes we do that because we don't see that little difference. Rounded. And at this point, you're just looking for basic shape and form, getting the angular quality. The knuckles create some angular, sharper corners and edges. There you go. So that's demonstration for the second handout, part 2. Okay. Now you can look online, and you can. Let's see if I'll bring something up here. I can bring up a reference image. I'll try to find something that's not too complex, but just as a demonstration. Sometimes hands that are moving away from us, the foreshortening, the perspective is very difficult. Okay, I think I have an image here to work with. All right, so now I'm going to create this hand. using that cylinder technique. Here's the arm. Here's the wrist. Block in the body of the hand. 1, 1, 2, 3. There's the thumb. Just using 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I can't see the pinky, so I see 1, 2, 3, just with lines building up the shape of the hand. There's the body of the fingers. Where does the thumb connect? Here. So we have that line for the thumb. Now I'm going to use those cylinders to kind of build up, just as a placeholder, just to start. Kind of has a bony quality to these fingers. Now I'm going to go back in and follow the contour. To show where the knuckles are. So rounded, moving, facing towards the palm. And then a little bit tapered, not as rounded for the back. Try to see the fingers for shapes. There's the pad, the muscles. Back is more angular. And put a little bit of that pinky in the back just to make it look more natural. Go back and follow the top of the hand. Notice the subtle contour, undulation. There. So that was just one demonstration of one hand. And the more you practice this and apply it to your character, your figure, and you can use references. You can use your own hand as a reference. You can have somebody take some photographs of your hands in different poses. Let's see here. Let me get another piece of paper. There's our hand. And then start off with the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So there's the wireframe, the structure for our finger. Then I'm going to go in and add those cylinders. I'm going to use light lines. Look at those stacked cups, wider at the base, narrower as we move up the segment. It's kind of crude and very rough, but it's a great exercise for you to become familiar with and seeing the angles, the perspective. With the cylinders, you can apply your understanding of perspective, 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective. And look at things as shapes. I'm trying to really stay focused that these are shapes that I'm building. There's a cup moving away from us, that top portion of that finger. Foreshortening, it's closer to us, so it's going to be a little bit more exaggerated. Okay, next we'll go back in and follow the contour. Darken in the lines. And now you have an armature structure to work with. Notice the little details. Sometimes closing one eye helps. It can be a little distracting having slightly different versions in your left eye and right eye, especially with objects that are very close to you. And the thumb, the top portion where the nail is. I want to make sure that I create a round. Okay, and that's where this finger connects. This is where the base of these fingers, I want to darken those lines a little bit more. Here on the top, go back in and now let's follow the contour of this one. And this helps with proportion. This is process. Observation. Taking another look at things you just take for granted, like we've seen thousands of hands and feet, but how many drawings have you tried to really slow down and observe the details, the proportion? Once you start drawing things, it kind of surprises you. It actually looks different than what you thought. The proportions are different. It's almost like we have a concept of these fingers, hands, but we don't really see it for what it is. The mechanics, the articulation. So the foreshortened fingers, where parts of the fingers are coming closer to us, those can be a little bit tough because it's three-dimensional, it's using perspective. Sometimes taking a photograph of the pose, it makes it easier to draw. Look at the negative space here. What I mean by negative space is you see this space in between the fingers. I'll shade that in for you. Sometimes you observe these shapes. It can help you to be more accurate to draw the actual subject. Okay, and we really haven't drawn the shading on these fingers to give it that little more realism. But I'm happy with the starting this process. And this is demonstrating applying step by step the building blocks from the original simplified drawing techniques of line, shape, geometric shape, organic shape, cylinders. And now you're trying to apply it to an actual hand. And hopefully that'll give you some confidence and build up your skills so that you're able to pull it off and understand it. Here you have this large muscle over here. There's one zone right there, this oval elliptical shape right here for that muscle. You have another zone right here, right below. This is another zone of muscles. And then you have one more right here, this major zone of muscles. These egg-like shapes, that's where the previous videos of shading and cylinders can really help you out. Here, this is the highest area, the closest area to the viewer where the light source is coming, and then as it gets towards the edge, it's darker. And that's for another video with shading the hands, but 3 zones, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so try it out for yourself, or if you're interested in improving your drawing skills of drawing the hand.